Cyprus football, the passion, the thrill. The passion, the thrill. The stadiums roar, you can feel the chill. You can feel the chill. The teams are ready, the battles will start. The battles will start with dreams of glory, they'll play with heart.
Kalimera, Kalispera, wherever time you're watching, this is Mappa. It's October, so naturally, Thasso and I, we go ill. Or we get ill. That's how it
Welcome
is.
to FluCast, everybody.
Yay.
Woo.
Shame we can't pass it on to people watching live. We've only got 8 people watching live, but hey.
Well, it's all right. It's all right. People will join as they notice that we are live. They always do.
Yes.
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 I mean, we already have one person who's jumped in there to say a quick hello to us. There's
Hello, George.
Hello,
It's just
George.
It's
Yeah.
just George.
Yeah. So apart from all the lurgy and all the rest of it, I heard you were on a podcast the other day.
I heard you did a podcast the other day.
Yeah, I know, right? Recorded almost at the same time because we're
Yes.
professionals like that. But
Absolutely.
yes. So
Tell us yours first.
well, I mean, we've been doing European previews, haven't we? Because the first games for the Cypriot teams in the Conference League stage are happening, and I obviously had a good old time with some Ireland football team supporters, the Rovers. There, so we had a good chat about the Rovers and Jack Byrne and Graham Burke and Mark Poom's son, and obviously their strengths and weaknesses. I think I did a good scouting mission for our boy. Whereas I think you'll have to break down what happened with yours because I haven't had the chance to listen yet.
Yes, well, I did a podcast with some Icelandic football experts, the best Icelandic league podcast. And the good thing about this was I was able to do a preview of the Omonia Vikingur game from an Omonia fan's perspective.
Yeah.
And then straight after, we carried on recording, but from a Vikingur perspective. So we killed two birds with one stone. I was on their platform, they're on ours. There we go.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful. Synergy, I think that's what they call in business terms, isn't it? Synergy stuff.
Yeah. And I think if you and I weren't ill, we'd be more enthusiastic about it. But right now, I'm muting myself every time I need to sniff.
Oh yeah. Now, see, for me, it's here. It's nice. It's nice and tender around here. So yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather have what I have, to be honest. It's just mixes. That's all it is.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the one that I've got has got the gravelly voice that people,
Okay.
like Phoebe and Friends when she gets that cold and then she.
Like Sean Dyche.
Yeah, sure. I got Sean Dyche voice. Sean Dyche voice.
Sean Connery voice.
Yeah.
Oh God.
No. We're not going to talk about him just yet. It's just their voices are very similar.
Very similar.
Head and Sean Dyche.
Very
But anyway, we're talking about future things happening. But obviously, a lot of crap happened over the last 6 days. So
yeah.
Shall we?
Let's get started.
Dive in?
Let's get started. Okay, so Omonia bounced back from their 1-0 defeat against Anorthosis with a 3-1 victory over AEL. But they went a goal behind thanks to Luther Singh. Gagoli equalized. Happy days. And then a brace from central defender Koulibaly gave Omonia the 3 points. That's all. It was straightforward, irrespective if AEL went a go ahead, correct?
Yeah. No, I mean, pretty much the kind of the defensive frailties I think that AEL have got at the moment kind of were a big show. This third goal here kind of proved a lot. Nobody was on Koulibaly after the Sorry for the second goal. Sorry, nobody was on Koulibaly for when the second ball had come in,
Yeah.
following rebounds and stuff. No marking at all on the free kick. Chris Coleman will be very annoyed. He'd be very annoyed with the defensive structure that he saw during the game. On top of that, obviously, they also had a player sent off. The new guy, Kexkesh.
Gasquet's the central defender.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So he had a sending off as well. So, but that sending off happened after all the goals were scored, so the damage was already done. And Simic hit the post as well for Omonia. I saw in the
Should have
highlights.
scored.
Yeah,
Should have
could have
scored.
been a goal, but I mean, straightforward. It means you guys stay very close to the top of the table as well. So happy days for you guys, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, going back to that second goal you mentioned, you know when they say play to the whistle,
Yeah,
that's exactly what AL should have done,
yeah,
but they didn't.
yeah.
And this is just basics of football. Isn't it funny how we talk about the league and how entertaining it is, but majority of the goals they conceded, they're just basic mistakes that you'd expect to see at Sunday League.
I'm not gonna. Well, I'm not gonna go that. I'm not gonna go that level of negativity. But yeah, for sure, the defensive side of the game gets thrown out the window. But it also means you get more entertaining games out of it. That's
True,
part and parcel.
true. I mean, a couple of quick things. Dambrauskas said he was concerned with the lack of what's the word? What's the verb for being clinical? Like, is there a clinicality? I don't even know if that word is there like a I don't even know. For the lack of clinicalism? I don't know. I need to look into this one.
Yeah.
Well, they weren't clinical enough.
A lack of accuracy, I guess.
Lack of accuracy. No, because they were accurate with their shooting. It's just they weren't clinical. Well, anyway, he was talking about, XG and, Omonia created a lot of chances and one day it could come back to haunt them. But interestingly enough, Chris Coleman said at full time that was their worst performance of the season. I was going to say worse than the 3-0 against Apollon, but
we're coming to that in a few minutes. We've still got a few things to go through before we get to that. But there you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. So before we move on from the game, obviously, I don't know.
Come on, Andy. This is Mappa greater than the Champions League, my guy.
I don't know if you could hear that. Booyakasha. Anyway,
yeah.
So obviously there was the big news that came out last night, quite late on as well, because obviously the transfer window completely shut for all signings.
It's slam shut. Slam in your ass.
Omonia sneaked in a little sign in there just to interest a few people. Stevan Jovetic, 34-year-old Montenegrin forward. People might have heard of him because he's played for teams like Fiorentina, Man City, Inter Milan, Sevilla, Monaco, Hertha Berlin, and Olympiacos Piraeus. 122 goals in 440 games, and that's in Serie A, Liga, the Premier League, La Liga, the Bundesliga. He played in the UEFA Cup, Europa League, and the Champions League. So this guy has got a lot of experience at a very high level. However, there is a however.
There's always a however.
He's a 34-year-old who's had 2 ACL injuries in the past, and he has had a lot of time off due to like little niggling issues over seasons. Normally the injury page on Transfermarkt has like maybe one page for even like the most experienced players. He's got 3 pages worth of injuries and injuries for just games he's missed. So he's a very good signing, albeit a short-term one, if he stays fit. He doesn't end up doing like a Kevin Mirallas for IL, for instance.
Yeah.
But he's
well,
a
look,
very
at the end of the day, I don't think it's that much of a gamble I don't think he's going to be a regular starter. I spoke to Ari and Costa from the 307 International, and they said, look, he's a good player to come off the bench. He can do a job. All right, the injury record isn't particularly appealing or attractive. But then you look at other players that Omone were linked with this summer. For example, Araujo, and his injury list was as long as Sol Campbell's third leg. So
Yeah. No, I I looking at what George has just said in the comments there, right down at the bottom there. He moans a lot when he's dropped. He gives his all, but always moaned at Olympiacos. So, it's the kind of influence that probably Dambrauskas was trying to get rid of originally at Omonia. So to bring somebody in who say moans a lot, is that is is that something advantageous there?
well, look, I think he wouldn't have joined if he wasn't given assurances.
Yeah,
But at this stage of his career, not being at a club for how long has it been since he was released? May, June,
yeah,
July, August, September, 3 months. Perhaps now he's realized, well, you're not at that level where you can demand to play.
yeah. But it's also has he had a preseason? That's the other thing.
Well, it's the same with Pizzi,
Yeah,
really. And
yeah. I
he's
bet. Yeah, but
started off
I
well,
mean,
hasn't he? So,
Pizzi's started games already, which I was surprised about. So, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that develops. But
yeah.
I think it's a proper solid signing. You've got somebody with a lot of experience there.
Well, fingers crossed it works out for us.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
let's move on.
Yes.
Let's move on. And Ajax beat Salamina by 3-1. An own goal from Bejarano gave them the lead. Enzo Cabrera made it 2. Cabele pulled one back, or Garland, as we like to call him, before Marcus Roden made it 3-1 in added time. That's all straightforward for Ajax.
Yeah.
Happy days for Henning, but look at that
The
defending.
defending, man. The
Flipping hell.
nightmare.
Sergio let
Sergio.
down.
Oh,
Let
he's not
down.
going to get picked for the national team, is he?
Didn't show enough passion.
Well, I mean, that's all he was showing there. Did you see how annoyed he was by giving the ball away?
Yeah.
It's again, Salamina have defensively been woeful this season so far, proving the point again. Yeah, Bejarano scoring the own goal as well. On top of that, uh, there's not much to say about Nas Salamina's defensive frailties that we haven't already said about. The good thing that we saw as well, at least for someone we're a fan of, is Cabrera broke his duck. So now I'm expecting him to hit another 19. Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm expecting the goals to pour in now. Bless you, sir. Bless you.
Just like the sneezing is pouring
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
Fuck my life, man, honestly. Strangle my kid. Sorry.
But yeah, so I could get a confidence building win. Now Salamina in the doldrums. Obviously we we are all about giving coaches time. However, there's not that patience in Cyprus, as Mario's just put in the comments there. Apparently, Salamina
Yeah.
fans waited outside the stadium shouting at Christodoulou to resign.
Bloody hell.
So, I mean,
Bloody hell.
yeah, I mean, he's not exactly a new coach either. He's been there for aeons compared to what coaches normally last in Cyprus. He started in May, like when Bursaididis left. So what's that? That's May 23, 22,
23, yeah. Yeah.
22. 22, hold on, 22, 23, 23, 24. Yeah, so May 23. So, it's 18 months nearly. So that's a pretty long time for a coach in Cyprus. So I don't know. I still think there's something he could offer the team, but it is getting a bit dangerous for him at the moment.
Well, 5 games, 15 goals conceded, 3 points according to Mario.
Yeah.
But Commander Krang says, to be honest, Salamina shouldn't feel that disappointed given their program. They play against Omonia, Buffo, Abo, Ike, and Anthony Go. It does seem like a pretty harsh
Yeah.
fixture list, you know? So,
Yeah.
I don't know what Salamina fans are expecting, to be fair, out of those games.
Well, yeah. I think Ike is seeing people. They're seeing a team that's there for the taking, though, aren't they? That's the thing, I think. And well, we'll see. We'll
I don't know.
see.
I don't know.
We'll see. I think the board are probably going to give him the next couple of games before they pull any triggers, though. Because
Yeah,
now that they've
true.
gotten over the big the big problems, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Right. Big problems. Well, there's little problems in the next game. And it's involving a club that has been all over this podcast since the beginning of the season. And that's Karmiotissa, who
Yeah,
drew 1 apiece against Omonia Aradipu. This goal from Yusi. What a strike. What a
smashed
strike.
that, didn't he?
Yep.
Yeah,
And then Diaz equalized
yeah.
from a set piece. 1-1 it ended.
Did you call him Diaz?
Huh?
Did you call him Diaz?
Diaz?
Yeah. It's João Sidonio.
João Freitas Diaz. That's his
okay.
full name.
All right, okay. Because
I went. I didn't go with the Pro Evolution Soccer. I didn't just make it up.
I was like,
I went with it.
who's Diaz? No,
Yeah,
João Sidonio. Yeah. Okay,
yeah.
fine.
Sidonio Freitas Diaz.
Okay,
I'm going with
Diaz.
that.
All right. Yeah, I think he's got on the back of his shirt it says Sidonia. But anyway.
Cornholio.
He's in the other game. Now, so I don't know why I'm holding Mini Batman. I don't know where he came
I'm
from.
Batman.
Anyway, with Yusi's goal as well. Again, it's a defender dialing on the ball, losing possession, and Yusi steals the ball off him, smashes it, top bins from 25 yards out.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what did the commentator say?
Oh, Povero! He did it. He did it. He did it. Love it.
I'm going to put a compilation together this season of all the Fovero goals with the guy just doing the commentary. Oh, one more time.
It's
Come on.
It's up there, isn't it? It's up there.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
Garmodisa were kind of in control in that first half. The second half, it was all on Omonia Arabipo, and then so they equalized. They hit the bar. Yusis got sent off, but Garmodisa escaped with that 1-1 draw, which means Simo Darabuluzi does not have a defeat on his record as Garmodisa manager because Garmodisa have a new manager, don't they?
They do.
They
do
do.
indeed.
They do. Shall
do
we talk
indeed.
about who they got? Look at this.
Yes.
Mauro Camoranesi.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to talk about his pedigree as a player because, a player spends 8 years at Juventus. He's a big deal. I think he had something like 55 caps for Italy, 50 caps, something like that.
Yep.
So
Argentinian.
World Cup,
Yep.
European Championship experience, Champions League experience, Serie A winning experience.
But he's Argentinian.
He is Argentinian.
He's Argentinian.
He is Argentinian, but he represented Italy.
Yes.
So head coach wise is a bit it's not as illustrious. So I'll just go through the teams here. We've got Coras de Tepic and Cafetaleros in Mexico, Tigre in Argentina, Tabor Cesana and NK Maribor in Slovenia, and Floriana in Malta. So Floriana in Malta was his last job. And our friend, Paul Gellard, wasn't it? That's what we agreed his name was. Yeah.
Gellard, yes.
with his Pastizi and Penalties podcast, talking about Maltese football. He gave us a quick breakdown of his season at Floriana. So
Ooh.
he did a great job at Floriana, and I suspect they would have been title winners this season if he'd carried on with Talirish. Played good football under him. So yeah, I would expect Garmodisa to play good football under him. I mean, he was a player with a certain amount of skill, so you'd expect him to want his players to kind of play with the same amount of skill. I mean, he's got players there that can do that. It's whether or not they
For sure. And
stay.
don't forget, he's got a
It's
lot of
whether or
players
not
here with
they stay
experience.
all season. But yeah,
Yeah. They got experience. There's a lot of players in that squad. I mean, obviously the centre
yeah,
back that was at Milan, he's
yep,
got experience.
yep,
So look, I guess there's going to be a lot of running involved in training.
yeah.
I guess. But look, at the end of the day, it's another big name to come to Cyprus. Might give us the league a bit more exposure.
hmm
But I'll tell you what, upon his arrival at the airport, have you seen the photograph?
No,
This photograph is one of those, when you see a photo and it's like unlikely meetings,
yeah,
three people you'd never expect to see in the same room at the same time, especially taking a photograph together.
okay.
Check this out. How about this bad boy? How about this bad boy? Look at that. Look at
Oh my God, he's there!
that. He's there, bro.
He's
He's
still
there.
around.
He's
Johnny
there.
Violins.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
beautiful. Oh, beautiful. They're beautiful, man. He's still around. That's great.
Mate, do you know, when I saw him on that photograph, do you know what it reminded me of?
What did it remind you of?
Right. Did you watch Transformers as a kid?
I did.
Did you watch a Transformers movie as a kid when Hot
I-
Rod opened the Matrix? That was the same feeling. When I was 9, 10 years old, yes, you got the touch. Du, du, du. Yeah, that is my Matrix moment. Seeing Johnny Violins show up in a photograph. He's alive. He's still there with a big smile on his face. Come on.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. And then you've got Simo next to him as well on the other side.
Yeah, same expression. Same expression, Simo. Same expression, Simo. Like, you
amazing.
could just take one photograph of him and just Photoshop him, and you wouldn't know the difference because it's the same pose every time. Let me bring up again. Hang about. There it is. Just the same pose.
Yep.
Same pose. I need to find some more photographs of him just to do a comparison. But it's the same pose.
Well,
Well, then there's a happy person in the background as well. That lady, she's happy as well.
Oh yeah, she's just been on a flight with Camoranesi for
Nah,
what,
mate,
is it,
she's
3
happy
hours?
just to see Johnny Violins. Come on.
Yeah, of
And he's
course.
got his shirt sleeves rolled up. Come on, JV. Look
Yeah.
at that. JV's been working out.
Oh, of course he has. He's not had he's not been going around on the news websites yelling about something or other. So
So he's
you know,
taking out his anger at the gym.
yeah, he's had
Gains.
plenty of time to work on those guns. Yeah,
He calls up. What's that striker's name that was there? The Dutch guy?
Grafenberg.
He calls him up and goes, "Do you even lift, bro?" Johnny Violins is at the gym taking selfies, sending him to Gravenberch. Do you even lift, bro? Gains.
Oh, speaking of
He-
gains,
Yes.
Garmiodisa have gained a player.
Gained the
as well.
player. Well done.
There you go.
Well done.
Dusan Bakic. It's almost like Simo is going after the players he was scouting for 3 years out of Monia. Pretty much, isn't it? Because it tells you then who was the one that kind of brought Bakic in. If you wanna look at the politics,
If you want to speculate.
if you wanted to look at the politics of what was happening around that time that package was signed. I'll wink. Anyway,
But it was
um,
just for Jansen's fault. Just for Jansen's fault.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Fault.
yes. Now, one thing I want to say about the Camoranesi story was that
One thing.
Gyriagos Nicolaou at the Cyprus Mail broke the story that Gardner were going to bring him in like 2 weeks ago, nearly.
Yep, that's
Yeah,
right.
and the other
Yep.
papers and media sites, they kind of jumped on it, took it, and then not provided the credit for the story. Kind of
Oh,
reminds you about someone with a dog.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
It kind of reminds you about someone with a dog and
yeah.
private jets, and other stories that have occurred that we've known about before. Said something, and then a week later, everybody else jumps on it, and no credit is given. So I'm with you, Kiriago. I'm with you, man. I'm right there, right there. Just ah, but yeah,
Well, look, if the Cyprus Mail don't get the credit that they deserve, a big publication like that, what chance have we got?
yeah, exactly. It's got Periluska over there in the corner. Yeah.
Or maybe it's because it's in English.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
I'm just saying.
Now, there's some news on Moniara Dipo as well.
Oh,
Yep. And this is gonna occur again later on. But Omone Aladipo have signed 2 Egyptians no one knows anything about. They announced them today.
right.
No, I've looked through everything. I managed to find an FM23 player kind of profile thing on one of them, who was at Excelsior Rotterdam and their youth teams 2 years ago. And that's it. Got absolutely nothing else. That's it.
Mate, I don't know what to say.
Yeah,
Honestly,
well,
I don't know what to say. I,
it's it's what it is, and it's gonna happen again later. But yeah,
no.
yep, yep, it's gonna happen again later. Now,
Yeah.
shall we go on to the next game?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah,
Go on.
that's
What
the
is
one.
it? What is the next game?
I think it's
Right. The next game is this is Ethnigor 2. I'm Rotterdam 2. This was Ethnigor's first goal, scored by Stilianu right on half time. It's a drop ball. Artimada is too busy arguing. The ball falls to Stilianu and he just smashes it in. Big deflection. And then we had this.
yes, that guy. That
Yes,
is my favorite
that
guy.
guy. That guy. Gary Mills made it 2-0 from Deriondo before Rafa Lopez scored from the spots. And then Christostomu scored with 10 minutes ago. This seemed like a very soft penalty to me, man. What about you? What do you reckon?
Wait, they've given a couple of these like this, haven't they?
But yeah,
They have given them.
yeah, but I don't.
Yeah,
Nah,
I think it's soft as well, but
yeah.
yeah.
Anyway,
But again, defending for that corner, atrocious. Defending
it's
for that
another
first.
game that Ethnigo has been shafted. Another game. It was Salamina with the handball, this with the penalty against Omonia. That's 3 games.
Yeah,
Unbelievable, Jeff.
yeah, but even with the shafting that they're getting, they're still picking up points. Um, yeah, but all 4 goals, awful defending for all 4 of them.
Look at this. Look worse in slow motion, but apparently the ref saw contact. Well, I don't think that we could deny there was contact, but it just seems so minimal.
Yeah,
It seems so bloody minimal.
yeah,
It's unbelievable.
yeah. I
You
don't.
can't give penalties for that, man.
It's
Do you know,
it's
I
it's
can
a harsh
imagine if it was
penalty.
if it was his standing leg, I could understand. But his leg was up in the air as well, so it's not as if like I don't know. It's just weird. Just weird.
Yeah, yeah. I
Then he
mean,
told Vi if there was contact, he would give it. That's outrageous. Outrageous.
yeah,
Anyway, whatever.
because it's what it is. But yeah, Achner pulling out all the stops. Um, they haven't exactly had the easiest kind of start to the season either. So the fact that they've got as many points as they have on the board, based on who they're having to play, is it's pretty good going. It's just that the defense is shit.
Yeah,
again,
yeah.
again, it's the defense that's letting them down.
Well, again,
Um,
similar to Salamina, they've played Omonia, they've played
Apoel,
Abuel, they've played Aek,
Aek,
they've
and
played
Anorthosis.
Salamina and Orthosi. So
Yeah,
there you go.
oh, yeah. Yeah. So a couple of things for Anorthosis fans
Yeah, good
to
news and bad news.
good news and bad news. So first of all, there's something that we talked about, I think, for the last 2 weeks already. So I'm not going to go into it in a lot of detail, but they've actually signed Grzegorz Krychowiak. So he's now there. We did the whole CV thing last week. There's some PSG in there and a couple of Russian teams. 100 appearances for Poland. Very, very experienced defensive midfielder. 34 years old, I think he is as well.
Yeah,
Another,
something like that. Yeah.
yeah, another guy with his bastoni showing up.
Shall I
Um,
tell you something interesting about this?
go
Right.
on.
I had someone message me about a day. It was a day before Krikoviak's signing was announced, and he goes to me, "Anorthosis is still looking for a central midfielder, but they can only afford 60K a year salary." I says, "Okay, well, who are they going to find for 60K?" And then 24 hours later, this guy pops up. I'm thinking, well, I'm sure they're paying him more than 60K.
Yeah, yeah. So
But
that
where do they get the money
that was
from
going
if
to
you're
be my
14 M's in
question.
debt?
That was going to be my question. That was going to be my very big question, because where are they getting the budget to bring him in? And if they have got a budget, who on the board is signing stuff off? Because the board, they all handed their resignations in.
Yeah, and we're still waiting to see when what's going to happen at the next General Assembly.
Yeah,
So, does this tell you that there's someone lurking in the background?
it yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because it's a
Right.
statement signing, irrespective of
It
whether he's
is.
33, 34,
It
35,
is.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, because it's a statement. It's a name. He's got a lot of experience. George has just put something in there that has to be a joke, man. I don't think that's. Is he going
Is
to
he
live
going
in
to live in
Cyprus?
Cyprus?
Apparently, he wanted to live in Paris and commute for games. There's no way that's real. There's
George, who
no
told you
way
this,
that's
man?
real.
Where did
I
you
said
read this or
that
hear this?
cannot be. That cannot be. That cannot be
Can
real.
you imagine?
The
Can you
reason
imagine?
the reason it took 2-3 weeks for them to announce this signing, I think, is because they were trying to scoop together the finances to be able to pay the guy. Now, what we've seen from a couple of players that have signed for Anorthosis, is they've asked for some guarantees prior to signing a contract.
Right.
So I'm just thinking the beginning of the transfer window when they announced Zivkovic, and then Zivkovic said, "No, there's still some financial issues that need to be unwound and things like that." So I think he had the contract there, but he was not signing it until he had the financial guarantees that he was going to get paid. So the club has found some money from somewhere to pay him at least those guarantees. Now, whether or not they continue to pay him is a different question altogether. But at least they, yeah,
What do you know? What if this story about him having to commute to games is true, that'd be hilarious. How's he going to do training sessions on Zoom,
there's not
like in the pandemic?
there's I can tell you for a fact as well, right?
You could give
That
him lifts to Cyprus.
yeah, well, that was going to say is what are an officer going to pay for a private plane every time? Because I know for a fact that out of Paris during the winter, There's only flights on a Monday and a Thursday. Oh, there is then, isn't it? As long as the game happens anywhere between a Friday night and a Monday night, is all right.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
shows up for the weekend to Cyprus goes back to Paris during the week.
Eh, is it really worth it though?
Well, I mean, if they could only afford 60 grand,
Oh
he
my
only
god.
trains part time for 60 grand.
Yeah, true. So still there's a very similar penny right now. Dortmund against Celtic, practically copy paste. I'm gonna watch this, Michael. I'm gonna watch it and I'll let you know.
Yeah.
I can't believe that. Right, anyway, next.
Yeah. So
Bad news.
the bad news is obviously is that Kane Woolery, who signed in the summer, has played 5 games and now has an ACL injury. So that's the big bad news for Anorthosi, is that their forward line is going to be reduced slightly, although kind of coming up to fitness is that Bulgarian lad that they signed quite late on in the transfer
Yeah,
window as well.
yeah.
So there is a direct replacement there. We wish the best of recovery to Kane Woolery. An ACL injury is not nice at all. So yeah, difficult
Grim
time.
on, man. Grim on.
Yeah, yeah. 5 games into a season, and you're
Yep,
out for the rest of it.
yep.
It's not great. But yeah.
Right. Let's move it on. Move it
Yep.
on because we got the Lurgies. We got the Lurgies.
Yep.
Next game. Apollon beats Paraluni by 3 goals to 1. Christophe with an own goal, giving Apollon the lead. Gottlieb, I think that's how you pronounce his surname,
Yep.
equalised through some tragic defending, but
Muros, man. Oh,
yeah. But 2 goals in added time, one from Doragaray from the penalty spot and Weisbeck
yep.
making it 3-1. 90 plus 7 and 90 plus 10.
Yep.
Interesting. Happy days, though, for Apollon.
Yeah.
They won a game without even playing.
Yeah, they got 6 points from this game. Yeah, it was gonna look like it was gonna be Adebayo to the rescue again for Paralimni.
He's a brilliant goalkeeper,
He
man.
was the only one who showed up to the game.
He's a
Like,
brilliant goalkeeper. Absolutely brilliant. I'm
yeah,
not even being sarcastic. He is, very
yeah.
good.
I think
Very
he
good.
does well when he's got the away fans behind him. Because I've
Yeah,
seen,
maybe.
because there was, I can't remember what game, but he had an awful game at the Dassos Marco the other day. But yeah, this one, he was absolutely fantastic. If it wasn't for him, that game would have been done at half time. It was just
Well, he kept
bad.
him in the game against Omonia Koscielnia, that's for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. He's the only one doing anything for him. He's the only one doing anything for him.
Yeah,
Good news. Good news for fans of Dore Garay. He's got his goal. Got his first
yeah.
goal of the season. Another 19 coming for him as well. Diego, another 19. Just not against that boy, yeah. But another 19.
Making demands now, yeah?
Yeah. I'm going to start demanding it of these players that I've been saying are good, and then they're not turning up. So I want
Right.
20 goals.
Flipping hell.
Yeah. So yeah, the Apollon charge continues.
For sure.
Yeah.
Adrian Gula, Apollo.
Yeah. Gaetan Weisbeck, obviously one of the French people that they signed in the summer. But yeah.
So far, so good for
Paralimni.
him.
So I was going to say, go on. What were you going to say?
No, it's so far so good for him.
Yeah, so far so good for him. Now, Paralimni, now they're going to get relegated, but regardless, they've signed an Egyptian no one knows anything about.
But they signed Dalinha as well
They
from
did sign
Bafo.
Dalinha on loan from Bafor, but they've also signed an Egyptian no one knows anything about. It's like somewhere in Gibro there was a trial for just Egyptian 18-year-olds that no one knows anything about. I don't know what the hell happened, but yeah, 3 Egyptians.
Just find out who the agent is. Just find out who the agent is. That's it.
But yeah,
That's it.
there's some great names for these guys as well. The one that Paralimni signed is called Omar El Fiki. Yeah,
Go figure yourself.
and one of the Omonia Radipo players is Omar Shatla.
He did what?
Exactly. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, the good one. I want to keep an eye on Dalinja because he's supposed to be a very good player. Obviously, he's getting squeezed out of the team by all the forward player signings that
Yes.
Buffalo keep making. But Dalinja is somebody who's been in the Buffalo's youth teams for the last 2-3 years as well, which means he counts as one of your Cypriots in inverted commas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, even though he's Brazilian.
Fair enough. If you
Yeah.
can, if you can do it, why not?
Mm.
I
So
don't
there you
know.
go.
Right, next game. You're not gonna like this.
Oh, you put that out.
Yes, yes, yes. You went to Omonia
Based it on that.
Gossinya and you couldn't beat them.
Yeah,
And
what?
there weren't any fans. Um, although there's a little story I need to tell you. But anyway, whatever. Talk to
Yeah.
me about this one, mate. Come on.
I mean, there's not a lot to say, man. There's a lot of attacking intent from Abuel. A lot of attacking intent. But a lot of the forward passing and the movements they were making, because everything was being played at a snail's pace. A lot of it was being cut out. Just get it to El Arabi or Pizzi. That one of them will do something. Well, they'll do something if they didn't have 3 players on them at all times. So yeah, the thing is as well, Abuel were very susceptible to the counter attack. Diwali got completely done by 2 balls over the top, and then what? Two Omonia, Two Furious had the one fast guy out on the wing, but they couldn't finish the chances that they had. Um, but yeah, it
Well,
was.
listen, is it a concern that you gave away so many opportunities in this one? I know that you're going for the win, and I know that it was one of those performances where you're going front foot, trying to play some really good football, committing bodies forward. But is it a concern that you left so many holes at the back?
For me, the holes at the back occurred because you had Lasha Dvali trying to dribble the ball into the box and taking shots. His job is to stay back and marshal. When your 2 furthest outfield players defensively are you know dropping into the attacking third of the pitch, and there's no one behind them doing anything, then you're going to be very susceptible to the balls over the top, very high line. Now the problem is when you're playing a very high line, you normally have pacey defenders to deal with that very high line. Except Abuel don't have pacey defenders. Abuel doesn't have much pace, so I don't know, man. For me, it seemed like a rubbish decision. Uh, the There was a few players obviously as well that didn't start the game because of the thinking for midweek. So you had players like Marquinhos didn't start, Abanya didn't play at all. Um, you had Quintilla came on in the 60th minute or something like that.
Corbu played, didn't he?
Yeah, Corbu played. Corbu was one of the bright sparks in the game. I'm very happy with what I'm seeing from the kids so far. But yeah, very. I called it pedestrian. It was so slow. It was so slow. It was like they were running through treacle. Um, and then some people will say that having no fans there affected the team. Oh, Stell's gone. All right, bye, Stell. Um, oh, he's back again.
I was sneezing, so I thought
Oh,
I was
all
okay.
right. Okay, all right. Next time,
Sorry.
I'll ignore you disappearing next time. In fact,
Sorry.
Dominguez said that uh, because there was no fans, the players felt like it was a friendly, right? for me, that's not an excuse. Even if you're playing a friendly, you should be playing it to the best of your ability. You're trying to impress, yeah. Um, but yeah, again, I'm thinking, he was telling them that save the energy levels for the next couple of days for the trip to Ireland, and maybe that's kind of the reason why we were so slow. Of course, we're also an ancient team, so that's another reason why it was so slow as well. But yeah, must do better. You can't be drawing 0-0 with Too Furious.
I must say that Portuguese head coaches come up with the best excuses. The
Yeah,
best.
yeah,
There must be an excuse book that Portuguese coaches use, and they're just like, so it's page like 56. Not many fans. It was
no,
like a friend.
I think it's more to do with he heard the fans complaining about there being no fans before, and then he was like, right, grab onto that just in case.
Panda,
Yeah,
panda, panda. Brrrah. Yeah,
yeah,
I know.
exactly.
A few comments. Michael Johnny is happiest day of the season so far. Belic's save was the best I've seen in years. 28th minute. Yeah, that was a great
It
save.
was a really good
Great
save.
save. Also, there were about 1,000 to 1,500 fans outside and nothing happened. Who'd have known that fans aren't mindless gorillas? Now, here's something. Sunday, I was outside, had the Garvuna on, right? Yes,
Yeah,
I had the Garvuna on. Don't
yeah,
care. Don't care. I get a call from my mate. He's on holiday. Well, he's gone to Cyprus for a funeral. Right. He's on the motorway and he calls me, goes, Stel, what's going on today? I don't know, you tell me. He goes, there's Omonia fans fighting with Abuel fans on the motorway. I said, shut up, man. He goes, they've stopped their cars and they're fighting on the motorway. He doesn't know anything about the Protathlima.
yeah,
And I'm like, Omonia and Abuel fans. And it took me a while I was like, oh, today's the game, innit? So yeah, but again, that's one person that saw it, claims they saw it. I'm not going to say that he's a liar because he doesn't know anything about the Protathlima. So
yeah,
he doesn't have a dog in the fight, so to speak. But I was looking online, like 24 Sports, to see if anything was reported. So nothing was there. So maybe it was just a few idiots, not like 50, 60, 70 or whatever. Maybe it's just like 3 or 4.
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. I mean, if it's just 3 or 4, they won't report. They won't report on 3 or
No,
4.
of course not. Of course not. Maybe it was a road rage.
Yeah,
And they just happened to be wearing their football shirts. I don't know.
yeah, yeah. Exactly.
I don't know. Maybe they wanted to fight over who's going to take a photograph with Tarabuluzzi. I don't know. I don't know. Well, Upwell is slow. Omonia 29 is basically built entirely on athletes, either fast or strong, so they completely neutralize the game.
Yeah,
Yeah, they think of it like that, to be honest. It's a good
yeah,
point there.
yeah. On one, so again, Trujic, he's
He's built like a tank, isn't he?
he is, and he's
Flipping
a
hell.
shit house with it as well. And I love him for it. I just don't love him against Apoel for it. But yeah, he was all over the game, especially on that right wing. Uh, he was having a great time. Corpo was having some difficulty against him, obviously considering the experience gap between the two players. But yeah, Trujic. There's a reason why he's wearing the captain's armband for that for them
Yeah,
lot.
yeah.
He's been a standout player for him. Yeah.
Well, cheesy. There's some
Yeah.
news.
Yep.
Transfer
Yeah.
news.
So yeah, Tio Furious have signed Bosnian defensive midfielder Ad- Anel Sabanadzovic. There you go, Sabanadzovic. There he is. So his entire career so far has been going between AEK Athinon and Zeleznica. Like AEK bought him, sent him out on loan over there. He played for AEK for one season afterwards, and he went back on loan, then came back to AEK, and
Air miles, mate. Clocking
yeah,
them up. Come on.
yeah.
Come on.
Um,
Wizz
and
Air.
with yeah, exactly. Yeah, they yeah with that's yeah, your mate Gregor, if he's taking flights from Paris, he's gonna have to use Wizz Air. 3-hour delays. Anyway, um, so the other player that these guys have signed is Jeremy Bella, a 31-year-old Angolan forward player. He's been at RC Lens, Dijon, Albacete, Birmingham, and Clermont Foot. 310 appearances, 44 goals, and 25 assists, including a load in the Championship and in Ligue 1. But the fact that he's played for Birmingham City and now has joined Two Monia Too Furious is like he's begging me to hate him. This guy's begging me to hate him. But
Well,
yeah,
just to let you know, I deliberately chose that photo because he's wearing a blue shirt.
yeah. Too bad.
So
Too
I,
bad. Too bad.
I think I'm going to leave that up a bit longer. What do you reckon?
You can
Is
take
that
it off now.
is that Boyle Sports betting?
Yep.
Is that a yellow Sky Bet? It's a very interesting kit. I like it for Adidas.
No, you
Pretty
don't.
decent.
No, you don't.
Yeah, it's a nice kit for Adidas.
Birmingham City kit, man. Yeah, you don't.
It's nice. It's very nice.
Okay, fine. Whatever.
Anyway,
Whatever. There's something here from someone watching to search it to search Sapanadzovic's father.
okay. Is
I don't know.
this something that is going to be one of those where I click on an image? It's going to be that sex noise.
It's going to be Goetze.
I can't even spell it, man.
Yeah, it's
I know. What's it?
yeah.
Rafik. Rafik, is that his dad's name?
But yeah,
He played for Red Star Belgrade, AK Athens, Kansas City Wizards. Played at the 1990 World Cup. I don't know what I'm looking for.
yeah. What are we looking for?
Yeah, what? Oh, yeah. He's got a pretty stellar playing career.
Yeah, does user disabled want to tell us what we're looking for?
Well, there's nothing on Wikipedia. I'm just trawling through it. I mean, he's played for. Yeah, he's played the Euros. He's played Euro '88 qualifying. Oh, 1 minute. He had a head injury and he was in a coma for 3 days.
Oh wow!
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Nothing.
Wow.
He was a known player.
Oh
well,
right. Okay.
There you go.
Okay, my guy. Yeah, you had me worried there. We were gonna find out some weird
I'm
criminal
putting a
stuff.
tenner in him scoring at the RCB against you lot.
No, man. Yeah, like you guys are really mean to me. You know that.
You deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve everything you get.
Oh.
Right, shall we move on to the next one?
Look, Batman has a light.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Anyway, yeah. Sorry.
There's a light on his rear end.
Flu brain. Right. Yeah. Let's keep going.
Okay. Right. 2 goals in the new derby, as they call it. Aris drawing at Buffer. They went ahead through Yannick Gomis in the 7th minute before Goldar equalised. A few minutes later, there was a few chances, but nothing really to discuss. Fair result, although Shpileski said that his team were better. Of course he would say that.
Yeah. Of course you would.
Of course.
Yeah. There was an off the ball incident as well. I don't know. Were you able to get anything about this off the ball incident that happened? Oh, so in the 51st minute, it looked like Gomis and Jaja,
Okay.
Zaza, or whatever we're calling him. Anyway, those two came to blows because of something that happened off the ball, and Gomis grabbed Zaza by the neck. You know, kind of like you remember how we you remember Chico Banza incident last season, the whole
Yeah.
grabbing thing. Basically, a repeat of that. So Gomis grabbed Jaja by the neck like that. And
Okay.
obviously, Bathos fans quite rightly were screaming blue murder about a second yellow card, because I think Gomis was already on a yellow card. But nothing got picked up on VAR or by the ref for the incident. So yeah,
Maybe
it's a red card.
maybe someone in the VAR truck said, "It's football. These things are going to happen. Just let him go on with it."
Yeah,
Maybe
but man,
common
when you
sense.
can't be grabbing people by the neck, man. You can't be like fucking
Well,
going for
you
them.
could grab him somewhere else. You know, if you're that way
Yeah, but
inclined.
we're not all Vinnie Jones. You know.
Well, if you just like a Diddy party, then anything goes, isn't it?
Okay, did he pie? Beautiful, but yeah, that's the one thing that I picked up on that. The other one, again, the Aris goal was Goldar dallying on the ball in Bafos's defense, and then goal mouth scramble. Gomis steals the ball off Goldar, fires it, blasts it into the net. Obviously, he makes up with it by getting the equalizer. So there you go.
I'm interested to see how Buffalo going to cope with these European games.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, their forward line isn't going to suffer much because they can rotate a lot.
Well, no, look, they've got Petrocub, then they've got Paralimni, which you're expecting them to win. Then they've got Garmiodissa, then
Yeah.
Heidenheim, then Omonia Gosenia, then Omonia Aradipu, and then it's Astana, Apollon, and Abuel before Fiorentina, then Omonia.
Yeah, that
Ah.
5-game streak there that you just mentioned at the end, it's going to be difficult. League-wise, they can probably. I don't want to be mean, but they could probably be okay playing against, Garmo di Sa or.
Oh my god! Someone gets a reference.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. I don't know, man. I've not been reading. I've not been reading
Oh
what
god!
Puff Daddy Diddy Puff has been doing at his parties.
What, 1,000 bottles of baby oil at the Kirakiris, yeah?
Yeah, that should be enough for him, shouldn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Jaja just covering himself with it so no one can pull him like a Traore at Fulham.
Oh God, shiny Jaja. Oh Jaja. Oh no, you're not going to get that reference because it's French. Never mind. There's a
Nakamura.
no. There's a song.
Aya Nakamura.
Oh, you do know the song then? Okay, all right. No, because it's French.
I listen to Maître Jim. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Okay. All right, man. All right.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Fine. But
I
yeah.
know my French hip hop.
Okay. Fine.
Oh, Jaja.
Yeah.
Na 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 na.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's got to be like a compilation video that we can do with that
Well,
play.
what's the point of making songs for Buffalo? Because you make a song for them, they don't even fucking tell you if you've won the
Oh
competition or
yeah,
not.
yeah. Come on, Buffalo. Where is it? Where is it,
Yeah.
Buffalo? Who's the winner?
Even
Who's the winner?
someone on the post that they put on Instagram said, "Has anyone won yet?" And I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Oh.
So
Playoffs.
either they didn't have many people doing it because they got no fans, or they decided not to pick our one because I don't know. Disappointment. That's why we
Oh,
don't
Jaja.
preview. That's why we don't preview your European games, Buffalo. Sorry. I'm petty. I'm joking. Just haven't had the time, to be honest.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Moving on. League table.
Yeah. Let's move on. Let's see the league table. Let's do it.
Yes, let's see it.
There it is. There it is. Oh,
Go
we've
on.
gone for the Greek version. We've gone
Yes.
for we've gone for the Cyprus League by Stishiman
Of
version.
course.
Right. So, right at the top, right there, without a game lost yet, is a Bathos FC with 13 points. followed by Omonia Lefkosias with 12 points. Then Aris Lemesu on 11 points. Apoel Lefkosias, 10 points, because there's more Apoels. I don't know why they have to put Lefkosias. Then we've got AEK Larnagas on 7 points and Apollonas Lemesu on 7 points. Now, after that, I
Yeah.
don't think
Yeah.
they've made the Vrionidis change that we're going to talk about.
No.
They haven't
No.
done that yet. In 7th, we've got AL with 6 points. In 8th, we've got Anorthosi with 5 points. And those 5 points are also for Omonia Radipo, Karmiodissa, and Ethnikos Achnas. In 12th, we've got Nea Salamina with 3 points. And Paralimni there in 13th with 3 points. And propping up the table, down at the bottom, 2 Omonia, 2 Furious with 2 points. I'd just like to point out as well, just bring the table back up again.
Oh,
Just
okay.
bring the table back up again. 8th and 9th. My prediction is still correct. 8th and 9th.
Well, you
Look
can't
at
stop the fucking league now, son.
No, I know, but I'm gonna keep pushing the point until it stops being the point, and then I'll go completely quiet about it and not talk about it anymore. I won't.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. There's a question here. Do you think any of the newly promoted teams are staying up?
I said Omonia Radipo are probably the best equipped, I think, out of the 3 of them. A lot of people said that the other guys will stay up. I don't see. They need to get more points on the table against the smaller teams, and they haven't done that.
Do you think their fans will want them to stay up though, knowing that they can't go to games or they refuse to go to games?
I don't think they want to see the team do badly.
No, but the whole point was for them to get behind their team, go to games and everything, because football wasn't the be all and end all.
I don't know. For me, I don't think they'd want their team to do badly. But if they were to get relegated, for them, it wouldn't be like, it wouldn't be like screaming, ripping your clothes off, going like, no. It'll be like, oh, well, okay, we'll get to go to games next season.
Well, all right, cool. So that's the good stuff, I guess.
Good stuff. Yep.
Where shall we start next?
I'll leave it all up to you.
Well, I think there's only one place to really start Thistlemore.
Yep.
It's time to spin the wheel. What is coming? We don't know. Spin the wheel now.
Well, that's factually incorrect because we do know what's coming, don't we?
Yep. We
And we
found out
we
exactly.
kind of had an idea what was going to come, but
Yeah.
I'll let you
So,
deal with it.
headline from this is obviously his judgment on the Apollon versus AL match, and he's picked some controversy. So, I
By the
Oh.
way, do you think that is the file that he had on the whole situation? Because to me, it just looks like he's about to pick up 2 fire extinguishers, like he's ready to go to war.
Yeah. No, he's gonna be. He's the one
Fighting
causing
fires.
trouble. Yeah.
He's going to get into the aisle stand and start spraying fans.
Yeah.
Stop it, you bastards!
I mean,
Granny's house.
it might as well with what he said. So, as always, he puts out a massive 15, 16 page document written in legalese Greek, and it's a PDF, and the PDF is more like a photocopy, so it's very difficult to pick up to Google Translate because you can't fucking copy paste off it.
Well, what you can do is open it in Microsoft Word.
Can you open it? Okay,
Yes.
so what I've been doing is I've been opening it in Google. I've been putting it in Google Drive, and then open it in Google Docs and then copying it over like that. But yeah, so firstly, he
But
basically
sorry to interrupt. You said it's a PDF document, not a PDF file, because he's not one of those. Just
no,
for the record,
no. Well, listen.
it's a
We don't know.
PDF document,
We
not a
don't know what
PDF
parties.
file.
We don't know what parties he's gone to. We don't know, so we can't. Let's not be libelous.
Well, just saying for now,
Yeah.
because we can neither confirm
Or
nor deny.
Yeah.
But for what we know, he's not a PDF file. He has a PDF document.
Yes. Yes.
There you
Now,
go. Those are all probably blank papers. Oh my goodness.
now, firstly, Isle's complaint to Vry-On involves the referee's decision to cancel the game on the advice of the police. So it's a bit of a quote here. I'm going to read off verbatim, but give me some slack here. I'm reading a legal document. It is obvious, indisputable, and clear that the position of the referee, and there can be no misinterpretation and slash or doubt, is that the decision was solely and only of the police and not his, without him having and slash or asking to have his own perception of the facts, which by evaluating them to make the appropriate decisions, remaining hostage to the wrong imposition by the police with their blackmail, essentially denying the policing of the match against violation inter alia of the legislation itself, and then blah blah blah. It is our position that the crystallized wording of the match referee, that while he could not see any reason not to start the match, and by decision of the police he did not start, leaves no room for any conclusion other than that his decision was wrong and against all the rules governing the conduct of a football match. General principle that defines the referee as the master of the field is violently violated, and any acceptance of such a decision opens wide the possibility for external factors to intervene decisively and completely outside the framework and regulations in the conduct of the match. So that's their big thing, is that basically the police told the referee to not start the game because they will not be policing the game because of what's happened, and the referee had to stop the game because there was no security for the fans, the players, the staff, and the guy blowing the bloody whistle. Now, IL ended their statement with a paragraph with their objection that the apparent political interference in the decision making places a bomb in the foundations of Cypriot football, putting it opposite to FIFA's basic principle of absolute prohibition of political involvement and interference in football, and therefore IL's position is clear that the decision to suspend, not conduct the match following a decision by the police, is manifestly incorrect, in violation of the regulations, and the match should be conducted as it was supposed to. Now, the last match that was cancelled because of a phone call from the President of the Republic. So there, the argument is that that game should be repeated. Yeah, this one, it didn't involve Department of Security or the President or whatever. This was the police taking action by themselves. Now, maybe somebody above the police was poking them, but in this case, there's no direct proof that the government was involved in the police's decision to say, no, we're not policing this game, so you're going to have to cancel it. That's, at least evidence-wise, Vry-On needs to look at the evidence. He can't go, yeah, but I know what's happening. He has to go on the evidence base, and there's no evidence to say that the government was involved in the police's decision.
Well, I just want to add something to this.
Yeah.
He's obviously going by the evidence.
Yeah.
Right. But how many high-profile cases throughout the world how we found out eventually that certain bits of key evidence have been intentionally left out.
Correct. That is correct, and that's why IL are going to go through the appeals process to get this overturned. So that's probably why they aren't showing the Apollon. Well, we'll get to it anyway. But yeah, Vry-On has also noted that Apollon responded to IL's statement, vehemently disagreeing with them due to the actions of their fans. So we also know the time that has elapsed since the first update of the referee by the police at 1820 until 1955, when it was decided not to play the match as a natural consequence of the continued behaviour of IL fans. That is to say, illegal entry, refusal of some to leave the stadium, and their return without being subjected to the necessary checks. The illegal entry of IL fans into the stands without going through ticket and or fan card control and or body search was undoubtedly the root cause of the non-conduct of the match and the non-withdrawal of all fans and or the return of those who left. The facts are indisputable and ascertained by the observer of the match and the police, and from the beginning and were transferred to the referee, and that is why the match did not start at the specified time, and the referee was aware of the instructions given. They were given by the police to ensure the smooth running of the match. So Apollon kind of chucking petrol onto the fire there to be like, no, we all know why this match was cancelled, and it wasn't because of the behaviour of our fans. We'll get to that bit later as well. Now, Vry-On provided a snippet of the referee's match report as well. So obviously, there wasn't much to put in the match report because there wasn't a match for there to be a report on, but there was still something. So the referee reports at 1820, the responsible police officer, Mr. Erodogridu, as well as in the presence of the stadium security officer, informed us that IL fans violated the entrance, broke the police cordon. We saw the police cordon. It was like 5 guys. But anyway, entered the stand without being checked, and according to the current situation, cannot.
Did you say 5 guys?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're just throwing burgers at each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Burgers
Cannot
and fries.
ensure the smooth start of the match. Then at 1825, the chief of police, together with the deputy chief and in the presence of 2 presidents of the 2 teams, told us that all IL fans must leave to carry out the necessary checks and re-enter. These instructions were not followed. The police will not be able to guarantee the safe conduct of the match. At 1955, and after a time extension was given for IL fans to leave, the responsible police officer, Mr. Erodogridu, informed us that several IL fans departed outside the stands and stadium. Excuse me for a second.
It's okay. He's coughing. He's still alive. Don't worry. It's all good.
Yeah, I'm back. Right. Outside the stands and stadium, while some of them did not leave at all, as a result of which they re-entered without the necessary control. The police informed us that they cannot provide security for the smooth running of the match after this development. In the end, the result was that the match did not start and was postponed permanently. Now, based off of the evidence base that Vry-On has made available or was made available to him, he basically told IL where to stick it, right? Quote, the referee's decision not to start the match was not grossly unreasonable and unjustified, but on the contrary, based on the information before him, he exercised his discretion within the framework provided by the relevant regulations, and therefore there is no room for any intervention by the sports judge in this decision. IL's objection is rejected. Yeah, so he's basically gone to IL or what are you going to do? Now, Apollon, on top of obviously saying it's all IL's fault and everything else, they actually requested that the game be given to them 3-0. So, remember they had that big meeting, all the presidents, all the Cyprus FA, you had your Kuma as well be like, unity, we're all united against this. Yeah. Solidarity, my balls, solidarity. Yeah. Yeah. The other thing as well is, matches being decided on the field. That was the complaint that Apollon had. Yeah. That Apollon had about the cancelled game last year. Yeah. That the match should be decided on the field. But obviously, if we get a 3-0 win out of it, I'd rather have the 3-0 win and not kick a ball, yeah? Anyway, so we've got Vry-On's conclusions. The sole responsibility for the decision not to start the match by the referee lies with IL, which according to the disciplinary regulations, the match interrupted by the fault of one team. The match will be awarded with 3-0 goals against the team responsible. In the event that the match is suspended or does not take place due to lack of discipline and order imposed in the stadium, due to unsportsmanlike behavior of a player or players or other persons or groups of people at the absolute discretion of the referee. If a match does not take place or cannot be completed, it can be awarded to the detriment of the team responsible for it through its own fault. In addition, this group may be fined. So, with that, he decided to award the match between Apollon and AL in 3-0 in favour of Apollon. However, Apollon have not escaped punishment from their game, as their fans had brought in dangerous objects into the stand and threw those objects on the pitch. So we saw that the big, when they announced that the game was cancelled, they did that big fireworks display or whatever they had going on there with whatever the hell was happening in their ultra stand there. Now, on top of that, there was a single fan of Apollon who managed to get onto the pitch. The fans had used lasers. They'd started a fire by burning IL shirts and scarves, and a load of other things. And on top, for all that, they've been fined a total of 20,600 euros. However, IL, on top of receiving the 3-0 defeat, they've also been fined a total of almost 30,000 euros. Both clubs have been hit with a match to be played with no fans. Apollon will have no away fans for one match, and IL will have no away fans for 2 matches. Now, there's some confusion on my end because Vry-On mentions IL's 2-match away fan ban twice. So I don't know if it's 2 lots of 2 or if it's 2 but twice.
The thing is, when I was watching before the Omonia Isle game, I distinctly remember the commentator saying the Isle fans aren't going to be. This is the last game that they're going to be at for an away game for a while, or something along those lines. So, I don't know.
Is it the 4 away games then? I don't know. Right. Either way, right. It looks like Vry-On has gone for maximum punishment again, which is what he did with Sapinto. And I think it's all to do with IL are going to appeal the decision, and they're going to appeal it being like first incident. First.
Yeah, but you could say that, but they might just go back to previous records and see how it kicked off between them last season, the year before, whatever. I mean, the fact is, if IL have a good enough case or a good enough appeal, I get the feeling they're just going to turn around and say, fine, you're going to play it again. We're going to reverse it, overturn it, play the game behind closed doors so that at least both teams get the opportunity to play the game as opposed to just giving it to Apollon, because I doubt they're going to do what they did a couple of years ago where they just said no one's going to get any points. It's just going to be a draw but no points.
Yeah. Well, to be fair to the decision from last season, that one or 2 years ago. I can't remember, and they keep fighting each other all the time. But the decision for that game where it ended up like nobody got any points, that was because of obviously the seriousness of the events that happened in and around the stadium, and the fact that both sets of fans were involved in that disorder. Now, whilst the Apollon fans weren't, they weren't up to their best behavior, they weren't the ones that caused, in inverted commas, that caused the delay and eventual postponement of the game. For me, it's a bit difficult to gauge how you punish this, because in essence, what you'd normally do is you'd punish the behavior between fans. But this is basically the police not doing their job, the IL fans getting annoyed with the police not doing their job, not listening to the police, and then the police throwing their hands in the air and saying, "All right, then we're not gonna look after this game." So I don't know. I don't think it's worth a 4-match ban for away fans if that's what's been given. Right now, the other thing is as well is all the clubs, before a ball was kicked, all the clubs need to agree to all the contract clauses, regulations, and everything else before they actually start the season. Yeah, all the clubs need to sign up to the regulations. So all the clubs knew that these punishments were going to be there. They were going to be there, and the reason for them being there was for the Cyprus FA and the clubs to be seen to be doing something about fan violence. You can't go back on this stuff after you've already agreed that that's the suitable punishment for this stuff. All right? Because it doesn't matter the police, the conditions that the police did their work in. The IL fans behaved inappropriately to the point where the game had to be abandoned, which means, in direct relation, the club is at fault for the game being abandoned, right? Legally, that's the precedent that's been set. So, with that in mind, they have to take the punishment. Now, I think the punishment's only supposed to be one away game. So the fact that Vry-On has gone for either 2 or 4 is very harsh, I think. But yeah, that's what I think anyway. I think there needs to be something, and that something is normally I think in the first instance it's supposed to be a 1 match ban for away fans. It's kind of like it's staggered, where you'd have situations where you'd have 1 match ban, 2 match ban, and then you don't have away fans anymore. So the fact that Vry-On has brought that hammer down as hard as he has, I think means that an appeal is going to be made, and that's going to get brought back. Now, I think IL are probably going to still get hit with that 3-0 loss, though.
Well, look, here's my perspective on this situation, right? If we take the incident and put it to one side for now, we talk about the punishment. I think IL are going to come with an appeal that is going to make the CFA think about their decision. I think the decision was made to be the harshest possible, given the circumstances, for a reason, because they knew that IL would appeal. That decision was made to appease the police, so the CFA would have some heat turned down from the police, and they're just waiting for things to simmer down a little bit. IL will give their appeal. The CFA will say, yeah, we were a little bit too harsh. Only a 1-game ban, and that's it. Everyone is happy. So punishment has been issued. The only thing I will say about that is the police might turn around and say, well, how can you go from such a harsh punishment to something so weak? So at the same time, the CFA Everyone's got them by the balls. Everyone's got them by the balls.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing about the appeal, though, is got to have legal recourse for it, yeah? So, if I allow to appeal, it'll be based on the fact that it's a first incident in inverted commas, therefore you should only be giving us this.
Yeah, bro, but it goes back to what I said earlier in terms of the evidence, some
Yeah.
evidence not being included.
Yeah.
Now, if IL have evidence, I mean, for all we know, they might have spoken to all of the stewards involved.
Yeah.
And given eyewitness statements.
Yeah.
So these are things, it's all right, it's conjecture, you could say, but at the same time, it's like, well, these guys were there.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I just think, like I said, I think the CFA of Vry-On has gone, right, fuck this. I'm going to give them this punishment. And then if they got something to come back at us, it's going to take a bit of time anyway.
Yeah.
Right? They're not going to do these things overnight. It's going to take days and days and days, sometimes even weeks for this appeal to come through. And then they're going to have to go through it again with a fine-tooth comb. And by the time that's done, the ban would have been up anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And don't forget, there's international week. There's international week as well to pad it out.
Yeah. So there's a bit of time, I think, before they do it. But yeah, it's, I don't know, man. I think it's a strange situation that we found ourselves in. But those punishments were agreed before the season started. So it's just for IL to argue now that because it's a first incident, it should only be a 1 away match ban.
Yeah, but they can always turn around and say, look, I'm playing devil's advocate here. They could always turn around and say, well, Apollon was setting fire to stuff. I mean, surely that's worse than what we did.
Well, yeah, it is worse than what they did, but it didn't go towards the cancellation of the match.
No, but that's still breaching rules.
It is, and Anothosi, wow.
Don't get them involved now. They're like, what we've got to do with us?
Apollon have been fined accordingly because of those things.
I don't know. Listen, the way I see it is that it's too much of a grey area. There's still a lot of information.
It's very grey. It's very grey. Now, it's
speaking
all
of
about
grey.
Yeah.
Speaking of grey, shall we move on to?
Well, there was one more thing I wanted to bring up on Vry-On is Durmishai got hit with a too much ban for his celebration.
Okay.
Yeah, that one he did. Yeah.
Look, they tell players never to fornicate before kickoff or before a game. So he's missing 2 games, so he can enjoy himself for 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it'll work out great for him. Anyway, that's the end of this Vry-On statement.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It's time to spin the wheel. What is coming? We don't know. Spin the wheel now.
Right. Shall we go to more grey area or grey news?
Go on then. Go on then. What's
the grey news?
The grey news. There he is.
Grey news.
There he is. There he is. So Fronis Avgusti officially confirmed Gatto is the new national team head coach. Stel is not happy.
Flipping out. I'm just pouring myself another drink.
Stel is not happy, but yeah. I'm just going to talk about his CV for a bit while you have a little lie down. So, as a goalkeeper, Gattos played for Apollon, AEK, Aris, and Apoel, winning a title and 2 cups with Apollon. He also played 11 times for the national team, but he spent most of his time as understudy for Antonis Georgalidis. I'm going to die here for a second. I'm just going to cough.
While Thasso is coughing, look at that photograph on the right-hand side. It actually looks like a ransom image. And Gouma is being held to ransom by 3 guys You must appoint him. If you don't, we're going to kill your family.
It's yeah. I was gonna say, look at them. They're all nobody there is dressed for a very important meeting, are they?
No.
Look, you've got 3 pairs of trainers and some espadrilles. You've got Gumar can't find a belt that's good enough to hold his trousers up, so
Flipping hell.
he's wearing suspenders.
Oh my
You've
God, I'm
got
coughing.
you've got you've got
He's
what the
killing me.
hell
He's
what
killing
the
me.
hell are those statues in the background, man? What the hell's going on there?
Gumar looks like the penguin in his boots. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh,
Ah,
it's beautiful.
ah, ah.
Ah, it's beautiful. And then, nobody looks happy to be there. They're all right. Here's the other thing, right? It's an office, it's a desk. Where the hell is Gumas's computer? Is he, where's his, what's going on, man? What is the coffee table is under the desk? Like,
I'm just
what's the
more
point?
concerned about Sofroni looking like Andrew Tate, sitting like Andrew Tate in that image.
What's he doing with his hands? What's you, what's he doing with his hands? It's like
You gotta grab your opponent. You gotta grab your opponent and beat him against the wall.
I'm
If
no,
they
I'm,
say
I'm,
no,
I'm
beat
thinking
them
I'm
against the
thinking it's
wall.
more like Malcolm in the Middle. They had the circle game. That's what it's- but yeah, anyway. So as a manager, he's been in charge of Apollon twice, AEK, Apoel, Omonia, and Garmiodisa twice. He's got 2 cup wins, one with Apollon and one with Ammonia. He's finished in the league third, second, and third with Apollon, 4th with Apollon as well, but there was the COVID break, 3rd with Apoel, and 6th with Omonia. Players that we've interviewed have only ever said good things about him. So you've got
Because he
Joel
hasn't been there
Mal,
long enough. He hasn't been there long enough
Joel Mal,
for them to
Magali
see the other
Dabo,
side of him.
Sim Tandy,
Yeah.
few
Blah,
others.
blah,
They've
blah, blah.
all said that he's uh, that he's one of the best coaches that they've had, right? I think Joel Mal actually said he makes you want to run through walls for him, right? And this is going to be it's our first team goalkeeper as well. So
Stop.
now
Please make it
this
stop. Listen.
this is
It's
it,
better
right?
than Ketspire.
If
I
yeah,
can't complain.
there you go.
I can't
If
complain.
nothing else, he's going to get the team believing in themselves again, and that's very important compared to what Getspire was doing. Was like, oh, we're not as good as we're not as good a footballing nation as some of these giants. And he's talking about Georgia. All respect to Georgia, they're not Spain, they're not Argentina, they're not France, yeah, but they're a good team. But Getspire had a lot of negativity surrounding him, and Sofroni is going to be giving the exact opposite of that. So the
I
idea
can
is,
tell you his first lineup right now.
can you?
Yeah.
All right, go on then.
Mol,
Yeah.
Sergio right back.
Okay.
Yeah. Pilea left back.
Okay.
Laifis and Banayodu, centre backs.
Okay.
Kusulo, Gogits, centre mid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Castano as a 10.
Yeah.
Johnny's Loizu. And Bitter.
You're saying that as if it's a bad thing.
I'm not. But I just know.
Yeah, but it's fine.
When it was at Ammonia, we just knew what he was going to do.
It's fine.
Just knew.
It's fine. That's what we want. We want something like that. We want that. But yeah, that's the national team news that we've got for you guys. And there's one more thing that I wanted to bring up, and then I'll open the floor up to you if you had any other news. We've got some managers ins and outs in
Yes.
the Greek Super League that people might be interested in. So Marinos Sachas has been sacked by Lamia after 7 games, 1 win and 2 draws in those 7 games will do that to you. And the second bit of news is Bursabor is heading to Volos. Isn't that nice? Volos are looking at the Protathlima going, we'll have one of those, we'll have a bit of that, a little bit of this, and a smidgen of this, and then they put it all in a bowl and mix it up and hope that they're going to get off the foot of the table in the Super League. But yeah, there you go.
Well, Thasso, because it's not a Cypriot league change in terms of the managerial change, I can't play the music, but I've got music for it now.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe get it ready for Paralimni
One for the
next
wall.
week.
But yes.
Because I don't think Mr. Goodman's going to be there much longer. But we'll see.
Oops.
Oops.
Well, mate, I can't think of anything else to discuss. Obviously, we've got the
very
conference.
comprehensive.
Yeah. We've got the Conference League games coming up. So Abuel playing Shamrock Rovers away from home, which you did a preview for. Omone playing Vikinga, and Buffalo face Petrocub away. So, do you want to do predictions? How our teams are going to do?
Yeah, I already called the Abuel game. I said a 1-1 draw was probably fair because of obviously the travel, the fact that Abuel's team is old, and that there'll be Shamrock Rovers will be up for it, especially with the bumper home crowd. So I see it being a draw, but I really think Abuel, if they put their good football boots on, they'll be able to get a win. Omonia, I think they should get a result against Vikingur. The Vikingur are travelling quite a long way, and there's a 25-degree difference in weather between where they're coming from and where they're going to be playing, which I think is going to affect them a lot. And Petro Cup, I don't know. Petro Cup could be a difficult game for Bafo. Just based off of what we saw of them against Abuel. One of their important players against Abuel, though, actually plays for Abuel now. So, but yeah, I think it's a good shout for all 3 teams to win. It's just going to be a very, very difficult night for a couple of them.
Yeah, I think. Look, I've seen highlights of Shamrock Rovers, and they look very good on the counter attack. But I think it's the same with Vikinga, Petrocub. Defensively, they're not too clever. But then again, neither are our teams, to be fair.
Yep,
We play a very open game.
Yep.
So let's see. Hopefully, we'll get 3 wins out of 3, as Michael says here, 3 wins from 3, and
get that coefficient up.
Exactly, absolutely.
Let's go.
Absolutely.
Let's go.
Right, boys and girls. Apologies for mine and Thasso's illnesses.
The show must go on.
Must go on, indeed. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter and X or Instagram, whatever. And this is Mappa. Thasso's is there.
It's there.
And my Instagram is here. So yeah, until next week, be good to yourselves. Don't get ill. And enjoy the football.
Football.
Bye. I can't even do it. My voice is fucked. It's fucked.